So on Joe Budden's podcast, Joe Budden, Ice, Ish, and Parks began to have a conversation about a week or so ago about Tom Brady and his beautiful wife, Giselle. And they began to talk about the differentiation in relationships and standards. And Ice and Ish began to say that they can understand why the money would matter to him, but as a man and as a father, that's something that you step away from. Joe began to say that he really doesn't agree because this is his passion and he's just one whatever away from his family being in a totally different tax bracket. Ish began to speak from a husband standpoint, although he's not a husband, but it's just funny that that's his name, and we know that in Hebrew, Ishi means Lord, husband, Baal. And so he began to talk about that Giselle made a lot of sacrifices, and Joe said, well, no one asked her to. I'm reminded of a man by the name of Robert Ramonte Holiday. That's my daddy, y'all. He was married to my beautiful late mother for 36 years before she passed away November of last year. And by my father being a working man full time, as well as an apostle over a church full time, and taking care of his children and his wife, he told us and he showed us that a man is to become a sacrifice for his house, just as Christ was a sacrifice for the church. And he began to say that a man that's not willing to sacrifice does not deserve that which it is that he would gain if he was not willing to lay something down for himself. So yes, both parties do sacrifice. I watched my mom sacrifice, but I watched daddy sacrifice, literally sacrifice himself when my mother turned 36 and she wanted to go back to school to pursue her degrees. He sacrificed, okay? Because it was three girls and two of us had health issues, and he began to step up in certain areas while mommy never dropped her ball, but he sacrificed even over the past 12 to 15 years as her health began to diminish. He took up on those duties that mommy would normally have around the house. So when we have men out here who are not willing to sacrifice but want to be hid, then that's when we begin to see that there is a great shift in dynamic in our relationships when a man is not willing to sacrifice so that he can be present and he can be there. Comment down below and tell me what y'all think. Food for thought.